Previously on Alan Wake, I'm hunted by the law.
Sheriff, Wake's running. I'm giving chase.
Are you seriously telling me that writer just took out my deputies?
A thriller I supposedly wrote is coming true. The genre of the story seems to be shifting. It's turning into a horror story. I was told that Alice had been kidnapped, but that was a lie.
We don't have his wife. We don't know where she is.
Her purported kidnapper was eaten up by the dark presence before it attacked me.
Alan, shh, baby. It was just a nightmare.
Alice.
There you go, Alan.
Hartman. I fell.
I had to give you a sedative. Don't fight it. You went through another rough period.
What?
Right now, it's very important that you stay calm. We don't want you to have another episode. You're a patient at my clinic. Have been for a while now. The shock of your wife's death triggered a mental illness.
No, you're lying.
You're suffering from various symptoms of undifferentiated schizophrenia.
Bastard.
It's okay, Alan. Just let go.
I felt groggy. Whatever Hartman had pumped in me was making me numb. I felt like this was happening to someone else. Someone I was watching on television. I couldn't think. Couldn't focus.
Witam wszystkich bardzo serdecznie z tej
There were
strony
only empty
Korle
sheets of paper here. No manuscript pages.
i zapraszam do kolejnej części przygód w grze Alan Wake. Ładnie się to porobiło. Czyżby kacyk? Jak tutaj na rano nawodnienie. Cześć.
Good evening,
Nie możemy
Alan.
wyjść?
Are we feeling better now? Feeling calm?
Yeah. I see you brought your pet gorilla with you. So sure, I'm calm. I get the message. Loud and clear.
Quite right. That's the spirit. You're being very brave, Alan. I understand you're confused. I would be more concerned if you weren't suspicious of me. I don't blame you for it.
Big of you.
Now, why don't you come with me? We'll reacquaint you with my clinic and go over everything you might have forgotten. Little walk and some fresh air? Yes, it will do you good.
My zawsze jesteśmy spokojni. My zawsze jesteśmy
This
spokojni.
corridor is for patients. Most of them aren't here right now. Jack took them out for a fishing trip, except for the ones who are particularly vulnerable, of course.
Uciekamy stąd. Okno, otwórz się. Cokolwiek. Najgorsze, że to wygląda trochę jak taki zamknięty ośrodek. Night Springs. To nie tylko my to oglądamy. Jak miło. O. Hartman. Tak kojarzy mi się mocno z...
I encourage
Death
creativity
Stranding.
as a
Oh,
part
tak.
of the recovery process here at Cauldron Lake Lodge. I specialize in treating artists.
I bet you do.
Splendid, Alan. I honestly believe we can get this thing under control if we work together.
Pomyśleć, że
This way,
sama
Alan.
żonka nas tutaj wysłała. No dobra, ale kurczę, to jest skomplikowane. Anderson, pomóż. O, jaka ładna winda, chętnie się nią przejadę.
Now, Alan, from past experience with you, I know I need to get right into the heart of the matter as quickly as I can after an episode. So I'm just going to say this. Alice is dead.
No.
You're in a very vulnerable state until you understand and accept this. Alice drowned, and you couldn't face that. You're suffering from hallucinations, paranoid delusions, unusual thinking, an obsession about light and darkness, a feeling that everything revolves around you, your thoughts and dreams. Your mind has constructed an elaborate fantasy scenario in which your writings are affecting reality. She has been kidnapped and supernatural forces of darkness are trying to stop you.
No i tak jest, doktorze, serio. Proszę poczekać do wieczora, to zobaczy doktor na własne oczy. Już nawet nie będę sprawdzał innych drzwi, bo pomyślę, że jesteśmy chorzy na coś.
We go this way, Alan.
I wasn't ready for another shot, so I went along with it. He had to be lying. But under the influence of the drug he had given me, I had to fight not to believe his words.
It's all in your head. You've been making it up. Apart from the tragic accident with your wife, no one has been killed. Your delusions are just a manifestation of your subconscious mind trying to protect you from the too painful truth. Unless we fight the fantasy, it will return. I know the instinct is to resist me, but think about it. Doesn't this make far more sense than the insane supernatural conspiracy you have concocted in your mind? You're a skeptic by nature, Alan. We both know this. Everything can be explained logically.
Pozostaje wierzyć. W cieniu śmierci jaśnieje cud życia, pamięci drogiego przyjaciela i wspaniałego poety. Alan Wake? To jak już naszej pamięci? To coś takiego budujesz, doktorze? I gdzie jest wyspa?
I never get tired of this view. Very inspiring, isn't it?
Cauldron Lake spread below us. I could see Mirror Peak on the other side of the lake. I thought I could make out the spot where Diver's Isle had been when I arrived with Alice. Now there was nothing but waves.
It seems there's a storm coming. Funny, I don't recall there being a mention of that in the weather forecast. Well, no matter. This way. Follow me. Alan, what I'm telling you is good news. Right now we're in control. Every time you have a relapse, it gets more and more difficult to resurface from the dark depths of your imagination. Not surprising, considering your profession. Imagination is what you work with. After all your nightmares, this should come as an immense relief to you. If it doesn't, why is that? Because I'm lying? Or because you don't want to admit that you're not well? It's very natural for you to think of me as your enemy. It's part of the illness.
I let him talk.
After all,
Hartman
I'm the
obviously
one
loved
trying
his
to
own
bring you
voice.
out of the
His
world
words
you've
echoed
constructed
madly
for
inside
yourself.
my head.
But I
I
can't
dug my
do
nails
it
into
by
the palms of my
myself.
hands to stay
You need
focused.
to work with me. Once you accept that, we can begin the journey towards your recovery. Come along. Let's go inside. Here's the entrance to the office wing. That's for staff only. You were impressed by my trophies when you first arrived here. I do love to hunt. The great outdoors, man versus nature. It's wonderful stuff.
Pretty damn wonderful, yeah.
O, ktoś tu Gang Olsena oglądał. Miło.
Scary, scary, scary.
Emerson,
No i w końcu ktoś, kto nas rozumie, no. Emerson.
I'm a real bad dream, mister. You should be afraid of me. Don't want to run into me in the night, that's for sure.
please, Emerson. Mr. Wake is confused enough as it is.
Yeah, you'd like me to go away so you won't be scared. But you can't just decide what kind of dream you have or when you have it.
Emerson,
Okay, sorry. Boo.
that's Emerson. We're actually making some progress with him, I'm happy to say. He works on
Elbow
video
strike.
games.
Ooh, yeah.
It's trash, of course, but it does
I'll get
involve
him
some
to the head.
small creative effort, which makes him receptive to my therapeutic methods.
No kidding.
Mogło być gorzej, mógł grać w gry komputerowe, no cóż. Chyba nic... O! Chciałem powiedzieć, chyba nic nie możemy tu podnieść, ale trochę jest. Doktor nie widzi? Nie widzi. Dzień dobry, możemy przejść tędy? Świetnie, dziękuję doktorze. Ciekawe, czy razem będziemy zwiedzać.
Alan, please, this way.
This way, tylko tyle usłyszałem.
Hartman had mentioned that the power had been acting up. Maybe that was the reason for the generator and the work light on the balcony. The generator hadn't been activated, and there was no key.
Możemy uruchomić ten generator? Boję się, że będzie mógł mieć zastosowanie w tym, co nas tu może spotkać, skoro tak go ustawili. Będziemy pamiętać o nim. Panie doktorze, ale termosy to wszyscy widzą, mam nadzieję. Albo wręcz przeciwnie, może lepiej nie, nic nie zabieramy ze sobą. Nie kolekcjonujemy termosów. My nawet nie lubimy kawy. Cześć. Chyba nie chce z nami rozmawiać. Mamy chwilę na ucieczkę jeszcze tutaj.
Oh, hello. I've painted you.
Okay.
I was just struck by inspiration a couple of days ago. Dr. Hartman wanted me to paint landscapes, and that's what I was doing. But now I've been doing these things, a lot of them. The images just keep coming. Dr. Hartman likes them. He has them in his office.
Yeah?
He's very proud of me. He says I'm getting much better. I think I'm getting better.
Dopóki my jesteśmy na tych obrazach, to ciężko się nie zgodzić z doktorem
Well,
Hartmanem.
I guess I'd better start wrapping this up. The storm is almost here. Look at that. I'd hate to be out there tonight.
No nie ukrywam, że chętnie bym się wybrał na wakacje do takiego miejsca. Może niekoniecznie o takim profilu działalności, ale z takimi widokami. Chętnie, chętnie. O. Hej. To jest ten tor, który roztrzaskał głowę? Jakieś pielęgniarki? No ma to potencjał. Dobrze, widzieliśmy... O! Wszystko wszystkich. Nie uciekniemy.
Now, you might have noticed the typewriter in your room. You've been writing as a part of the therapy. As soon as you feel up to it, you should continue.
Coś mogliśmy przeczytać. Witamy w Cloudron Lake Lodge. Zapewniamy Ci specjalistyczną opiekę, której potrzebujesz. Prosimy jednocześnie o przestrzeganie następujących reguł. Ustal porę odwiedzin wcześniej, tak by nie kolidowały z zajęciami terapeutycznymi i pracą twórczą. Szanuj prywatność pozostałych kuracjuszy, szczególnie jeśli zajmują się właśnie pracą twórczą. Okaż cierpliwość. Leczymy długotrwałe problemy twórcze, których nie rozwiąże się w przeciągu kilku dni. Daj czas sobie i nam. Pamiętaj, że leczenie jest dobrowolne, a cała terapia została dostosowana do Twoich potrzeb. Zaangażowanie TM i jego bliźniacza odmiana przypływ TM sprawdzają się najlepiej, gdy aktywnie uczestniczysz w ich kształtowaniu. W razie wątpliwości pytaj śmiało. Okej. To też artyści.
My rheumatism's killing me. There's a storm coming. Oh, what a storm.
I hope it wipes this place off the face of the earth.
And these two are the Anderson brothers, Odin and Thor. They had a, how should I put this, a heavy metal band in the 70s and 80s called Old Gods of Asgard. They even adopted new first names to complete the image of Viking gods. After the band broke up, they lived on a farm nearby. They are, well, in advanced stages of dementia. They're well cared for, TLC and all that. There's nothing more that can be done. I'm afraid that the rock and roll lifestyle has left its mark.
Oj tam.
Oh, that won't do. I'm so sorry to cut this short for now, Alan. The power has been acting up. I'd better go check on it. We'll continue this soon. Meanwhile, when you feel up to it, return to your room and try to write. It really is for the best. Don't you think?
I'd like to bash his head in with a hammer.
Oh, he'd love to fish out our secrets, but he has no clue. He's not crazy enough. Not crazy like us, Sonny.
Yeah!
Being crazy's a requirement, Sonny. Who else could understand the world when it's like this? It takes crazy to know crazy.
That's the sanest thing I've heard in a while.
Zane! You're all right, Tom. Hey, we like him, don't we, bro? He's got to go to the farm.
The Anderson Farm. Valhalla!
We wrote it all down, lest we'd forget. A crash course. All you need to know to get your head right. You need to find the message.
Here, Sonny, here's something for you. Gave me a rash, but I kept it safe from these bastards.
Czekaj, gdzie to ukryć, że wysypki dostałeś?
Zane could feel the poems, taking form, shaping things. As he experimented, he imagined he could almost feel the power surging through the keys of the typewriter. It exhilarated him. But there was fear, too. If not for his young assistant Emil, he would have given it up. But Emil convinced him otherwise. He too had a way with words. My head was clearing up, or according to Hartman, I was sinking back into the fantasy. I was convinced he was lying to me about everything. Crazy or not, the Andersons made more sense.
Tom, got any booze on you?
Yeah, no.
We
Sorry,
have a
guys.
stash of the special stuff at the farm. Our own formula. Local ingredients. Medicine clears your head right up. Makes you remember like moonbeams on the brain.
Oh, I just noticed. Leather patches on the elbows? That's not very rock and roll.
Tom just lost is all. Baba Yaga got to him too, the damn witch.
She used us all. Taken from all of us. Took my thunder, the witch.
And my ravens, what were they? Memory and thought, the hag.
She took something from you too, didn't she? That's what she does.
We're better off. This place, the lake, it gives you power. If you're a creator, an artist, God.
Nightmare shifted in their sleep in the darkness of the lake.
Yeah, that's the one. She makes sure it comes out twisted and wrong. Just ask the lamp lady. She knows what happened to that other rider.
She's been using you, boy, and you let her. You went and opened the door for her, didn't you?
Now, it was already open a crack. And whose fault is that? We're morally corrupt, disease-ridden, old and stupid.
Doesn't mean he had to open it all the way, goddammit.
Powiedzieliście wiedźma, czyli nie tylko my ją widzieliśmy?
Tired. Built the farm close to the lake, a place of power.
No właśnie, miejsce mocy.
Parties there, man. You should go there and have a party.
Jedziemy tam, potem bimber, czy... Co to miało być? Czytaj tam niekoniecznie, tu też nas nie chcą. Szkoda, bez telewizor. Chętnie bym obejrzał. Też nie. Teoretycznie nie mamy doktorka na głowie, a w praktyce...
Hey Sinclair, Dr. Hartman was worried about the power
Tak jesteśmy
again. He's checking on it
ograniczeni.
now.
Yeah, good thing he's not overreacting or anything.
Well, he's the boss.
I may need a hand here later on, Birch. The storm's bound to make you-know-who jumpy. You know how they get.
Gotcha. The doc's got me looking after Wake here, but holler if they get too rowdy.
I'll do that, Birch.
Hey, Wake, why don't you humor Dr. Hartman and give the writing a shot, huh? The typewriter's in your room. You can get to your room by those stairs, Wake.
To nie takie proste, to już wiemy, gdzie nie chcemy iść. Czy możemy pogadać?
Dream and you can't wake up. You can't hurt a nightmare because all dreams are only imagination. They're only in your head and they're not there when you wake up. So you can't wake up because I'm in charge now and I don't want to disappear. My nightmare is the publisher people who want to make a contribution so they can say they made a contribution. And then we end up with mullets in there because they think mullets are funny, but it wasn't supposed to be about mullets. And now it's about mullets. And when it's in slow motion, they call it mullet time because
Hartman wanted me to write. I knew I couldn't, but I figured I should just play along for now. It was the only thing I could do with Nurse Birch watching me like a hawk.
They say it all like serial killers with straight faces and smiles. My nightmare is the writers who want to make everything from the characters to the toasters talk all the time and express their feelings feelings, so they won't shut up. And the writers won't shut up either, because they have feelings too. And I have to listen to them, because they're not scared of me. And everyone should just shut up, shut up, shut up. But I don't see nightmares anymore because I'm too scary for them. I take 2 pills every morning, and 1 with every meal, and 4 when I go to bed. And that makes me the scariest nightmare of all.
I tak powstał Alan Wake. Ty też nic nie powiesz, czy już teraz przy doktorze się może otworzy przed nami? Skończyłeś już ten obraz? Tak średnio bym powiedział, tak średnio. No dobra, chyba będziemy szli do swojego pokoju. Jeszcze z ciekawości zobaczymy. Możemy skakać? Wow! Aha. To jest wszystko normalne. Nie oceniajcie. Zamknęli drzwi przed nami. Dziękuję, doktorze Hartman. Zapamiętamy sobie. Zapamiętamy.
Something's wrong. I'm not myself. It's hard to think that there's a shadow inside my head. I can only focus on writing. Everything else is a blur. I'm trapped in this cabin. Have been for days, but it's always dark outside. My editor is real. I saw her again. She's not human. It's not human. A dark presence is wearing the old woman's face. She was covered in clinging shadows. There's a hole in her chest where her heart should be. I think I've made a horrible mistake. I don't think I'm any closer to saving Alice. It's been lying to me, using me to get the story it wants, and the story will come true.
No aż tak dokładnie to my się jej nie przyglądaliśmy. I znowu te QR-kody. Nie wiem, do czego prowadzą, będę musiał sprawdzić później, ale teraz przynajmniej wyraźny, widoczny. Generator wrócił do gry, czy tak dalej pozbawia nas złudzeń na światło w tym miejscu? Czuję, że prawdziwy koszmar to się tu dopiero zacznie. Wake? Wake. Dezole, wpuścisz nas? Anderson? Nie chcą nas to. Nic, trzeba siadać i pisać, zgodnie z zaleceniami doktora.
The white glare of the blank page in front of me hurt my eyes. My hands began to shake uncontrollably.
Everybody, calm down. Put that down. Bert, I need help.
Hey, Wake, you stay here. I'm gonna go see what's up. You just keep doing what you're doing. Be cool, okay?
I didn't know what the chaos was all about, but it could be my only chance of getting out of here.
Where the hell did he get a damn hammer?
I don't
My hammer's up! Here's a friendly poke from Mjolnir, wench!
Oh, afraid of the crazy brothers, are ya? Not so weak now!
Serio mamy stąd
Hartman kept
uciekać?
talking, giving Barry the grand tour, clearly proud of the place. He went on and on about his hunting trophies, and Barry was impressed. But he was here on business. He raised his voice, cut through the monologue. Hey, Hartman, where's Al? Hartman stopped in mid-sentence, annoyed at the interruption. He nodded at the hulking orderly standing nearby. The man smiled and clapped a practiced hand on Barry's shoulder.
Czyżby nie oddali nas Baremu? Kurczę, teraz jesteśmy trochę jak jego własność, tak? Nasz wydawca. Jedyny, który może nas stąd wypisać, teoretycznie.
Sinclair looked bad. That wasn't a love tap. The crazy old fart hit her hard. If she was one of Hartman's goons, she had it coming. I could get the key to the office wing from Sinclair.
Sinclair, słoneczko, wyjdź. A, weź klucze.
I had to get to Hartman's office. He had taken all my manuscript pages. That's where he'd been keeping them.
Maybe you could come out and beat our wrinkled, adult, diapered asses for it, since you're so tough, Birch.
Mamy klucze do każdego miejsca. O, już nie maluje? No dobra, to chyba tu jest nasza droga dalej. To nie jest Alan.
The photo on the wall caught my attention. In it, the clinic staff was standing outside the lodge. I knew the man next to Hartman. He was the kidnapper. Hartman had been playing me all along.
To gorzej, czyli też nas nie lubi, ale ma chyba zdjęcia Alana. Zakładam, że to zdjęcia
The
Alana.
markings on the tape said they were recordings Hartman had made at the sessions with his patients. I saw Alice's name on one of them. For a moment, I couldn't breathe right.
Now, Mrs. Wake, can you tell me about Alan's problems?
He's more and more out of control all the time. The parties, he's so angry all the time. He's getting violent.
Do you mean with you?
No, not with me. No, never. Sometimes I almost wish Alan would take a swing at me, because at least that'd lead to a conversation he couldn't just march out of. But no. Alan doesn't really sleep. And the work, well, he's not writing at all. He sits there for hours and just gets more and more frustrated. And I can't talk to him.
Yes. Tell me, Mrs. Wake, what would you say to him if he'd listen?
I don't know. I want to say, I look at you, and it's not you. Just some stranger who resembles you. Looking out from behind your eyes, and I don't like that guy much. And now it's all gonna go to hell.
But you don't ever say this.
No. I've tried, but he's not listening. He's too deep in his own problems, always going on about something else. I'm so afraid I'm gonna lose him, and we're not even talking anymore. He doesn't let me in anymore. He just keeps me in the dark. I'm so alone here, even when he's home. Please help me, Doctor, because I'm at my wit's end.
Well, if you can just get him here, I'll absolutely do my very best.
Yeah, but Doctor, you need to be careful with him. He's not just going to listen to you and cooperate. He's the most stubborn man I've ever met.
Well, I'll be sure to bear that in mind.
Hearing her voice, what she was saying made me happy and sick and guilty all at once. Worst of all, I recognized the words. The phone call from her. It had been a cut-up of this. Just a recording.
Rozumiem, dalej to samo. O, a nie. Nie to samo.
Completely blocked, and frankly, I was about
Rudolph?
to discard him as useless. However, once Wake arrived and started writing, something changed in Rudolph. He's producing extraordinary work, increasingly dark pieces. Unfortunately, he doesn't respond to direction at all, and it's my belief that he's not so much a creator as an illustrator, perhaps, a recorder of sorts. I hadn't considered the existence of such a role before, let alone its implications, but the paintings he has produced are informative. At least he's easily controlled and useful. I wish I could say the same about Wake. It's frustrating that the best subjects are always so damn difficult to deal with.
Czyli co, to my sprowadziliśmy na ośrodek te mroczne wizje, które widzą inni?
I'm buying that. I was tailing Wheeler, and this is the only place he could have gone. That means Wake is probably there too.
Agent Nightingale, this is private property, and I will not allow you to disturb my patients.
Yeah? I can get a warrant. How are your fragile little patients like that?
Oh, I'm thoroughly intimidated by your mighty authority now, Agent.
Listen, you smug snob. How would you like it if I busted through this gate and knocked you around a little?
Agent Nightingale, first of all, I'm recording this conversation, so you might want to watch what you say. Secondly, you're not dealing with a hick now. I know the law, and if you can get a judge to grant a warrant, I'll be glad to cooperate. But you won't get one. Be advised that any further communications with me are to be made through my lawyer.
I don't believe this.
Good day, Agent.
Yeah.
Jak to było? Wróg naszego wroga jest naszym przyjacielem. No chyba nie do końca w tym przypadku, ale no... Przydałoby się.
Hartman wasn't happy. Maud could see it in his eyes. He quickly lowered his own. He had made a mess of it, and he knew it. The shame of failure was hard to bear. He hadn't expected Wake to say he needed more time. And he blurted out 2 days, less than Wake had asked for, to show him who was in charge. But that wasn't part of Hartman's plan.
No i tu się sprawy komplikują, bo to trochę wygląda, jakby Hartman współpracował z tymi bandziorami, co chcą od nas manuskrypt. My też chcemy ten manuskrypt mieć, no ale cóż.
Hartman, do you hear me? I'm gonna sue your crazy quack ass to shreds.
Nasz artysta? O, Barry!
Ow! About time! Barry, man, am I glad to see you. We need to get to Hartman's office.
It's right next door.
You okay?
Yeah. I mean, no! The cops found me at Rose's trailer, but they didn't hassle me too much. I'm obviously a victim in this, and I demanded to be treated as such. Or else I'd sue their asses. Speaking of asses, that Fed gave me a real hard time, but I had no clue where you were. That guy's crazy, Al. But he let me go, and then I get a call from Hartman, that son of a bitch, who tells me you're here and I should come pick you up, but when I got here, 2 goons clobbered me and stuck me in there.
What's with the cutout?
I stole it from the diner to piss off Rose after what she did to us. That'll teach her.
Yeah, that's a harsh punishment. Come on, pal, we gotta get going.
Na bank będzie płakać. Ale to nie jej wina. No właśnie, czy spotkamy się jeszcze z Rose?
These were all the pages I had on me. And more.
Alan, please. You're sliding back into the...
Tell me one more lie and I'll shoot you in the face.
Ah, well, it was worth a shot. Really, Wake, come on. Let's work together on this. You have no idea...
Hartman, shut up! Barry, get out of here. I'll catch up with you. Get a car.
Oh, Al, let's just...
Go!
Wake, listen to me. This is a mistake. Don't you see? Together we can create something absolutely wonderful. With your ability and mine.
Nie wiem, co myśleć o tej minie, tak trochę jakby nam się nawet to podobało.
Hartman followed the fall of Alan Wake with his binoculars. When the rider hit the water, he ordered Jack to take the boat to him. The spot was easy to see in the dark, even with all the extra lights in the boat. The flare floated and kept burning even in the water. Jack turned the radio louder as the engine sputtered. The music was rough and clanking, something the Anderson brothers would no doubt have enjoyed. But Hartman chose to ignore it. Wake was finally within his reach.
Kurczę, a najgorzej, że to wszystko, co nam doktorek mówił, tak zaczynało się jakoś układać. Mieć sens. A teraz? Nawet nie mamy światła. Oj, ale tam jest mroku. Mrok, nie, tylko nie to! Na górze był generator. Udało nam się wbić do niego i go odpalić. Może jeszcze coś z tego będzie. Tyle razy go mijaliśmy. Najgorzej, że coraz trudniejsze są te zabawki. Okej. I tak, na początku ten generator w miarę łatwo szło odpalić. To teraz mam wrażenie, jakby się coś niestety zmieniło. Nie dość, że 3 razy, to jeszcze na mniejszym polu. Jak nas goni wrog, to wcale nie jest proste operowanie tym wszystkim. Przejdziemy górą? Nie, absolutnie nie. Nie wiem, jak uciekać tam na dół, patrząc na to, że... No właśnie, to wszystko jeszcze tu lata. Może część mebli zlikwidowaliśmy światłem, ale na pewno nie wszystko. Ała. Wiesz, co masz, czy co dają. Raca? Wszystko, co mamy. Alan? Czy łatwiej by było mając... O, okej, to jest światło. Łatwiej by było mając... latarkę. Nie mamy latarki. Meble otworzyliście... Oła! Może tak, za karę. Szczęście wystarczyło, więc tak chyba miało to wyglądać, ale jeżeli nie znajdziemy jakiegoś lepszego światła, to raczej nie widzę za dobrze naszej przyszłości.
Hartman knew he was no creator. He had no ambitions on that front, and he certainly didn't want to end up like every artist he had worked with here, damaged in ways that were hard to describe, or worse. It was enough for Hartman to maintain creative control and provide direction, to be a producer. That was what most of these people were in need of anyway. Of course, Suitable subjects were few and far in between.
No i to jest to, o czym ten kolega wspominał przy tym procesie twórczym. Alan, włącz. Zawsze jakieś światło. O. Ej, ale... Nie znajdziesz czego? Jakieś napisy, bo tu niewyraźnie słychać, co ten telewizor mówi, ale to jest chyba takie stałe wprowadzenie do Night Springs. Zaraz dowiemy się, czy jest coś tu więcej.
Thanks for the ride, Mark. I'm so glad that you're leaving this place. You have no idea.
What, Night Springs? Come on, Linda, relax. It's not that bad. Hey, what's that up ahead?
Oh, God. There's someone in the road. I think there's been an accident. Are you alright?
Oh no, Linda! Oh no! It was me on the road! Wait! Tell him to watch out for the truck! Watch out for the truck!
My God, Mark?
Oh, God! Oh, please! God, no! Linda!
No pięknie, wygląda na to, że się gdzieś tutaj w tym Night Springs zawiesili, ale nie mamy przejścia dalej, nie mamy amunicji. Musimy zmykać. No obejrzeliśmy kolejne show, chociaż tym razem... O! Bez napisów. Bywa i tak. Ktoś otworzy nam drzwi, czy mamy szukać innej opcji ucieczki? Chyba że ta wielka kula, no właśnie, zaraz je rozwali. Że jak widać, mrok potrafi być nawet pomocny, chyba że sobie jeszcze raz chcę uderzyć. O, dziękuję. Dziękuję. Oła! Nie możemy wchodzić na mrok. Mrok! Co jakbyś podleciał? Dziękujemy. Dziękujemy. Na tym możemy zaprzestać. Ty z tą latarką, chodź tutaj. Świeć nam.
Barry, I don't have a light.
Take this, Al!
A, to miłe z twojej strony.
Look at the house, Al! Look out!
O kurczę! O nie! My znamy te numery. Dobra, tu coś leży. Nie, to jest chyba do przeczytania. Zwieszczenie. Ła! Alan! Światło nam się chyba jeszcze przyda. Najgorzej, że to leci do nas tam gdzieś. Dobra. Jedna część bramy pasuje. Jak tu nam odpadnie. Okej, jest, żyjemy. To wszystko wygląda źle. Najgorzej, że nie mamy czym strzelać. Baterie gdzieś tam też doktorek pozabierał potem, jak wpadliśmy do wody. I na co nam było zbieranie tych wszystkich rakietnic, amunicji i tego wszystkiego? Co? Zabawne. Idź w stronę światła, czy wręcz przeciwnie? Dobre początki. No dobra, nie w tę stronę. Chyba większego horroru nie mogliśmy sobie wyobrazić. Jak tu ludzie chodzą dookoła? Jacy... Evil people! Evil! Kurczę! Teraz już wiem, jacy evil people. O, to tylko nasze światło. O! Najgorzej, że ich słuchać z różnych stron. Dobra, słyszę go za nami. Jest kartka. Pan Resik, czekaj. I karteczka. O!
The biking paraphernalia that littered the area, surrounding an unlikely centerpiece. A full-side stage complete with an impressive sound system with all the trimmings, including a dragon. It took a special kind of crazy to build something like this in a remote field. When the sky split open with a deafening boom and the music started blasting, it felt strangely appropriate.
Chyba załapiemy się na jakiś koncert tutaj. Pytanie, czy to był jedyny problem, jaki nas otaczał? Na ten moment wygląda, że tak, ale słyszymy, że zbliża się tego zdecydowanie więcej. No to... Jakoś niespecjalnie nas to dziwi, że idą po nas. No idziemy po nich tak naprawdę. Nie bój się, Barry! Za nami! Za nami! Więcej ich tu jest! Raca, tak naprawdę. Nie widzę nic przez... Ale ty się odwróciłeś pechowo? Włóż baterię i świeć dalej! Mam nadzieję, że nie mamy nikogo już po drugiej stronie. Przeładować też możesz. Najgorsze, że to jest chyba ostatni już. Znaczy ostatni. Mam nadzieję, że to jest ostatni, bo my nie mamy... Nie, tam się znowu zbiera im. Podnoś, Alan, czytaj, co nas tu czeka i uciekamy.
He had disliked leaving Wake when he was surely at his most susceptible to therapy. But this was not an ordinary storm. Wake had been writing, and he had woken something up in the depths of the lake. Now, it was coming for him. Hartman had naturally prepared for a situation like this. The idiot brothers would keep Wake distracted while Hartman double-checked everything, just to be sure.
No trzeba przyznać, że mu to nawet wyszło. Mu to nawet wyszło. Gorsza wiadomość jest taka, że jak my sobie tu biegamy, no tam jest pełno ścieżek, a nie sposób zwiedzić je wszystkie. Telewizor może grać... Tu byliśmy? Nie, tu nie byliśmy. A może byliśmy? Dobra, jest jakieś jakby wyjście. Jest ktoś od nas z tym telewizorem? Fajny. Mam nadzieję, że ta amunicja jest tylko po to, żeby nas trochę uspokoić. Nie będzie przydatna. Nasz kolega koszmarek, tak? No, spiesz. Kruki jeszcze! O kurczę, my chyba mamy uciekać przed tym... Nie, tam jest... Mamy tu walczyć! To jest boss! Bierz tu wszystko z tego. Dziękuję. Rakietnica, tak! Wyceluj w niego i strzelaj! Strzelaj, Alan! Kurczę, jakoś tak... Mam wrażenie, jakby jeszcze stał całkiem dziarsko na tych nogach. No ja wiem, że kruki nas tu męczą. Ale one nie są chyba aż tak złe jak ten gość, który chce nas zabić. Dobra. Musimy teraz jakoś z kruka... O, jeszcze jeden strzał z kruków. Ja nie wiem, jak my mamy sobie z nimi poradzić. Włóż baterię. Włóż bateriara. Alan. Widzę, że te kruki możemy teoretycznie tak odprowadzać. Do domu. Lećcie do waszego kruczego gniazda. Dobra. Spalone i one. Coś nas tu ominęło? Termosik. Ale to było. To był pomysł na walkę z bossem, tylko moment. Dokąd dalej? Znajdź drogę przez ogród? To my mogliśmy sobie iść tu cały czas? Nie O kurczę. 22 amunicji. Dobra, to mamy trochę. Kolego wie, że to nie służy do rozwalania kamienia. Nie wiem, czy dobrze zrobiłem, że włożyłem baterię, bo tu sobie mamy teren, żeby... A to sam szeryf! Wszystko. No to nie ukrywam, że trochę oszczędnie podchodzą do tematu naszej amunicji i problemów tu. Jeszcze Alan trochę bardziej by się starał przy tym swoim bieganiu, to może byśmy poprowadzili go inaczej. Ale on się nie stara, jak biega. O! Trochę lepiej jakby.
Mott knew that Wake was smarter than him. Wake had more money, a beautiful wife, everything. And Hartman said Wake was important. That made him better than Mott. But Mott was calling the shots now. He'd expected Wake to whimper and grovel, but instead, he seemed willing to fight. Mott knew he'd gotten under Wake's skin. If only Mott actually had his wife. The thought made him shiver.
No dobrze, Morty. Gorzej, że chyba nie bez powodu nam dali tę broń. Trzymajmy ją na czarną godzinę. Jakby ktoś miał podejść z bliska, nas to próbować załatwić, to w sumie na tym dystansie. Strzelba! O kurczę, oj, więcej ich jest. Jeszcze kogoś słyszę, no właśnie, najgorzej. To jest cała trójeczka, my nie mamy już żadnej racy. Nie wiem, czy jesteśmy w stanie jako tako bez walki przejść przez to. Czemu wy się tak wolno smażycie? No musieliśmy to zużyć, niestety. Ładuj. Serio, tam nic nie leżało? Barry, mógłbyś wyjść nam naprzeciw? O, znamy tak jak wy! No szybciej, Alan! No! Poczekamy. Mamy już tylko 3 przeładowania tej latarki. Więc wydaje mi się, że trochę nadużywałem dobrodziejstwa, jakie ona tutaj nam funduje. Więc nie spieszmy się, albo spieszmy się powoli. O! Będzie motto naszego przeżycia. A jeszcze jeden.
For the moment, Barry was just glad he had survived the fall. He had been separated from Al, and there was no easy way to climb back up. He told himself he'd be okay in the gloomy forest at night. He would just have to wait for a while for Al to find his way down. Barry turned when he heard the heavy footsteps and saw the movement. The man-shaped shadow lunged at him from the bushes, an axe held high. Barry screamed and threw up his hand. The world exploded.
Okej, czyli wziął ze sobą granaty. Flashbangi, to mam nadzieję, że to takie wybuchy tu chodzi. O, co to jest? Emil? Made Tom do it, czyli stworzył to, co tam Tom, a Tom nie był czasem Zane? Znaczy Zane nie był Tomem? Ej? No, spokojnie. Nie warczymy. No Alana. Jest gdzieś schowek tutaj. I nie tylko schowek. Najgorzej, że często oni lubią się... Oj, wyłączyli światło za nami? O kurczę, jak ten tu przez te krzaki przeszedł jak ninja! Chodź. Na darmowej energii cię załatwimy. Taka obraza. Bardziej mnie ten schowek interesuje. Gdzie on się tu nam schował, że widzimy? Oznaczenie na żółto. O, jest, chyba go tam odkryliśmy. Gorzej tylko jak to znów jeden z tych bonusów oszukanych. Niby rakietnica. Ładuj. A jednocześnie broniona przez siły nieczyste. No dobra, ale czuję się już trochę lepiej. Cokolwiek by nas miał tu nie spotkać, to możemy wyjść z tej ciężkiej sytuacji jakoś lepiej. Chyba że znów te ptaki się odezwą, ale te rakietnice są właśnie najlepsze na nie. No! I to jest spoko okolica. Race. Cały zestaw. To tylko pokazuje, że czekają nas to trudne chwile niestety. Jak zwykle. I znów pełen zestaw.
Hartman watched as Wake's features slackened. The man was bullheaded, no doubt. Even lying on the bed, he'd almost broken Hartman's nose the second time. But with a little time, he could break Wake down, give him proper direction. Wake was easily the most promising subject he'd had. Well, since Tom, really. Sleep well, Alan, Hartman whispered with a smile. Let me take care of you. He sniffed hard to clear his throbbing nose, swallowed blood and barely tasted it.
Może lubi. Może lubi. No nic. Ale to w takim razie... A to Barry. Barry, ale to wiesz, my tu dużo amunicji znaleźliśmy. To nie jest dobry prognostyk, ale... To co w końcu z żoną? Żyje czy nie żyje? Czy wierzyć porywaczom, którzy nie wiedzą, gdzie ona jest? Czy nie do końca tak to działa? Ej! Może i tak.
Maybe.
Barry.
Well, I slammed it shut when the nasty showed up, and the key fits kind of loose in the lock, so, Barry! I'll find it, don't worry about it!
Nie no, Barry, świetnie, świetnie. Świetnie, świetnie, świetnie. Chodź, kurczę, tamten akurat się zatrzymał gdzieś w krzakach, niestety. Oj, no, tu musi tu być, to my tyle to wiemy, ale gorzej, że ich więcej do nas spróbuje podejść. Odpal racę, Alan. To ich trochę powstrzyma, może chodź się przytul tu. Ten też jest całkiem mocny. Kurczę, ich jest więcej, przeładuj broń. To mi się trochę mniej podoba. Cały Alan. Dobra, dawaj rakietę, przeładuj ją. No strzelaj! Dobra. Chociaż chyba nie załatwił tego ostatniego. Kurczę, no ładuj, Alan, szybciej. No to już? Możemy iść? Dzięki! Barry, przez ciebie straciliśmy tak drogocenne rakietnice. Ale żyjemy.
Al, please tell me we're headed for the nearest "You're now leaving Bright Falls. Come back soon" sign.
We're going to the Anderson farm.
I knew you were gonna say something like that. You know what? You owe me big time for this. When this is through, if we make it, I don't care what anybody says, I'm done with darkness. You're gonna buy me a tanning bed as a gift, and I'm gonna live in it.
A tymczasem dzięki za to, że jesteście, dzięki za to, że gramy razem. Grał z wami Korle, trzymajcie się. Hej, hej.
I'm crazy, but that's fine, Barry.
Oh, you got that right, Al. You're barking mad. You are by far the craziest...
But maybe that's inevitable when you deal with crazy stuff like this. It helps. This is happening, Barry. Alice, they never had Alice. She's trapped in the darkness at the bottom of the lake, but she's not dead.
Al, how can you know that?
I know, Barry. I can...
Al,
No, listen. I can bring her back. I can find her. There's something special about this place. The lake, it does something to the works of art created here. It makes them come true. But there's a catch. The dark presence, whatever that thing is, twists it to its own ends. That's why all of this is happening. It's using my manuscript to take over everything.
Al, I believe you.
It happened to Thomas Zane before, it happened to the Andersons.
I believe you. Crazy or not, you're not delusional. Weird shit's going down. That's a fact. I'm on board, man. I'm with you.
The Andersons knew about it, but they were too far gone to tell me with all the drugs they were on. But they wrote it down. There's a message somewhere at their farm, Barry. We just need to find it.
Look out! God damn it, Al, talk to me!